Alright, welcome to Mr. Radalch's Math 1 or Math 3 class. So those of you lucky enough to be in here, here's a quick disclosure. We'll try to keep it quick for the parents, but just gives us a lowdown on some of the basics. So, just so everyone is aware, here are my goals as your teacher this year, or the teacher of your student. So I want to help all students become proficient in math concepts. Okay, I want them to become so proficient that we do better than all of our other classes. I think we're up to it, and that's where we're going to go. Okay, for you parents, you guardians, I want to be able to communicate better with you guys, keep you in the loop, and just keep those lines of communication open so that we can help your students as best as possible. I also want to use technology in and out of the classroom to enhance learning. I've started doing that in previous years, but I'm always trying different ways to get better. So I've started up a Twitter account, and I've also I'm going to start a YouTube channel to see if I can get my videos out there so it's easier for people to get to access. Okay, these last two might seem a little different. I read an article over the summer about the importance of thinking slowly in math. So I want to help develop slow thinkers in math in my class. I want these students to actually think things through, not just try to do them as quickly as possible, but to build connections and to be able to make sure that they're able to apply these concepts, these understandings in different ways to help them out in their life. The last thing I wanted to do was to help students fail correctly. I don't like when students fail my class. I don't mind when they fail concepts or ideas or procedures because that, if done correctly, will help them to learn even more than had they not failed. So those are our ideas as we go through this. I'm sure most of your students, their goal is to just simply pass my class and get through without dying, which hopefully should happen. Okay, the materials needed. Well, I would like it if we had a notebook and folder combination, whether they're a separate notebook with a separate folder. There will be items they need to keep in a folder. We will be doing writing, so they definitely need a notebook for some note-taking, some writing, some journal entries, stuff like that. They should be notebooks and folders that they can keep here at school if needed, so I can look through them if I need to do that. Okay, they also need a writing utensil, pen or a pencil, preferably not a marker, but pen or pencil usually is fine for me. A definite needed item is a positive attitude. I believe in aisle 8 at Walmart you can find those. So make sure you pick one up before school starts or soon after. Also a unicorn. Okay, grading, I'm sure you're pretty worried about that. So here's kind of the rundown. For my Math 1s, our assessments, which basically comes down to tests, unit tests, midterm final, depending on how we set it up, and a project, a term project, that's 50% of their grade. Quizette and quizzes. The quizette is a different type of quiz, but homework quizzes and quizettes we basically do daily. That's 40%. The student work ends up being 10%. For Math 3, the assessments and quizzes are just flip-flopped, so just going in line with the other Math 1 and Math 3 teachers, that's what we decided. If you're wondering about the grades, grade scale right there. Okay, it's pretty typical, pretty standard. That's what we go with. Hopefully I will be seeing none of these. We can all do, and hopefully none of these. I don't even really want to see any of those. I think we can hit this and up. We can do that. Okay, so just a few other things to talk about. Homework, just make sure your student does it. We typically get homework pretty much every day. We've got a lot of stuff we got to cover in math. We've got a lot of things they need to practice, so we do have the homework. Just know that I try not to put anything I don't think is valuable for them to do. And I usually have videos up to help with the homework and questions that they may have. Extra credit, don't count on it. Typically the only extra credit I offer on a term-by-term basis is watching one of my videos with your student and then emailing me to let me know. Sometimes I may offer something different, but you can't count on that. Tutoring, typically at the school we have A lot of options. I'm here before or after school. Sometimes I'm here for like an hour before or after school. Sometimes we have that. There's also some student tutors, and we'll get more information in that, probably have it at back to school night if not sooner. Assessments. We are starting a new assessment policy of no retakes on the tests. Now that's obviously if there's extenuating circumstances, like your student gets their leg cut off or something and is bleeding while trying to take a test, I probably will let them retake it, but do not count on it, and they would have to be quite the circumstances for us to allow it. But if you have specific questions about that, feel free to contact me. Attendance. Please, 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 please make sure your student shows up. We need them here to help them learn. Okay, here's my contact information. I've got an email. That's my school one. If for some reason it doesn't seem like it's getting through the filter, you can try this one, Mr. Rydalch at gmail.com. I also just set up a new Twitter account at Mr. Rydalch is my handle. I've got my website here. There might be too many of those. I don't know where that came in, but it's a great reference and where I put up a lot of stuff. And if you want to stop by, I teach every period, so you can pretty much only get a hold of me before school or after school. Sometimes later, depending on what our tutoring schedule looks like. Okay? So, that's pretty much it, and just to let you know, if you were curious, I only have 2 rules in my class. The students don't hurt anyone else's chance to learn, and that they respect others. Pretty simple, and we'll go from there. Didn't want to keep you guys too long, so talk to me if you have any questions.